Old Man Stories, Bill Becker shows losing a job can create a world of adventure.
Okay, so what are we going to talk about?
Roland Willits, Old Man Stories. Oh, we're going to talk about your trip.
Oh, the trip.
The trip.
Back in 1991.
Back in 1991. I forgot your name again.
Bill and Roland.
Bill and Bill what?
Bill Becker.
Bill Becker. Okay, he's from Michigan.
From Marysville, Michigan.
Marysville, Michigan.
Which is Port Huron, just right down.
Yeah.
So anyways, that's where we're from. And Alice and I don't know if you can be included, but you can sit down.
Please, Alice, sit down. Here,
And you are?
My name is Roland, Alice.
Roland.
Nice to meet you.
So anyways, I was telling him about our little trip with the sailboat, and so he sort of wanted to maybe put it on
YouTube.
Yeah,
It'll be in my Old Man Stories newsletter, and I put it into on YouTube to store it there, and then I reference it with my newsletter.
Okay. Well, anyways, Roland, as I was telling you earlier, that I had a sailboat. It was a 32-foot Islander, 32-foot, and it was a 77 model, and I bought it in 79. And so we live in Port Huron, Michigan, and that is where the Port Huron to Mackinac race is held every year with the Bayview Yacht Club. Comes up from Bayview, from the Detroit area, to Port Huron, and it's a super race every year. And so this boat was capable of racing in the Mackinac.
Wow!
So anyways, I bought sails for the boat. I bought 3 new head sails for the boat. I bought a spinnaker for the boat. I bought a folding propeller for the boat. I spent a whole hell of a lot of money on the boat. And then on April 2nd, I got fired from my job. And so I...
That's a killer.
Well,
But that's all right.
Well,
This is about one of our things is about losing jobs. This is a wonderful story to put in there.
anyways, we had our company, which was in the LP gas business, had been bought out by a major company, and the major company felt that their truck drivers could run the whole business or whatever, and I was making more money than my manager, and so anyways, none of our people lasted very long. We were in the management business in the business. So anyways, so there we were. Oh no, I'm really getting carried away because I'm going to tell you another story. So I come home and told my wife about this, and she was very upset.
It does.
I was very relieved. I was very relieved.
Yeah.
Anyways, and so my wife was a teacher at the time, and so I said, we're going to take the summer off, and because I don't have anything to do. And anyways, when Alice got out of school, the last day of school, we left with our sailboat, and we sailed all 5 Great Lakes that summer. We went to 52 ports in 72 days, and all 5 Great Lakes. So
You were saying you stopped for more than a day.
well, oh yeah, but
Yeah, not
too
when you're
long,
cruising.
but here. Anyway, so that isn't the story that we started out with.
Right.
But so now we'll just skip over all that, and so after that, I got a job. I went back to work, and anyways, so we got back to work, and my wife was teaching again, and we decided we would like to make a trip with a boat. And so Alice got a leave of absence. I talked my boss into a year off. Anyways, so we took a year off and we left the Port Huron area, which
But we sold our house and our
Oh.
kids were on their own. And
Wow. It
Oh,
was
yes,
that time
okay.
of life. Yeah, it was that time of life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so the house sold for a super nice price. And anyways, we were happy and we left the Port Huron area and with the sailboat went down the St. Clair River, Lake St. Clair, through Lake Erie, Lake Ontario, through the
Welland Canal.
the Welland Canal before Lake Ontario, but through the anyways, the canal.
We ended up in
Well, we went out this as far as Sorel, Quebec,
Quebec. Okay.
and at Sorel, Quebec, there is a canal system, the Richelieu Canal system, that goes down into Lake Champlain. And so we took that. We had to take our mast down on the boat. Alice and I did it, and took the mast down on the boat.
Wow.
Went into Lake Champlain with the mast laying on the top of the boat, sticking out in front of the boat about 6 foot, 5 foot or so behind the boat. And we stayed in Lake Champlain for a month, which was a little tough going into docks and so forth. We anchored out a lot, had a great time, met some people there.
You have a little dinghy that you take.
Oh yes. We had a dinghy, we had our bicycles, and so that was all good and well. And so then on through Lake Champlain into the Hudson and down and put the mast back up as soon as we got into the Hudson, and then down the Hudson and past the Statue of Liberty and out into the Atlantic and down to where did we come in? We come into a casino.
well, that was Atlantic City, but we stopped
Yeah,
before
but
that.
okay, but anyways, and then Atlantic City went in, and the marina there was a state-run marina
Oh.
Castle.
Trump's Castle, and Alice could do laundry and so forth.
Yeah, we always need laundry. Yes, laundry is.
So
one of our-
anyways,
one of our
we did
top
that.
Always.
And then went on down, got into the intercoastal, went down and met Alice's mother.
When did you
down.
put the mast back? When you were
Oh, as soon as we got into the Hudson.
as soon as you got into the Hudson River, you
The
stuck
mast
that
was back up for the rest of the trip
Oh, okay.
until we come back home.
Okay.
So the mast was up. We sailed whenever we could in the Hudson. Whenever there was a favorable wind, we put out sails, but most of it was motoring. And down the Hudson, and like I say, past the Statue of Liberty, and
I bet that was just some experience.
Yes,
You know, I've
it
been
sure
out to it on a ferry, and
That's why you
that's
just
wonderful.
see for miles.
Oh, isn't it exciting? It's exciting. This
Anyways,
is the summer.
during
this
this
is
time-
summertime, right?
well, spring. or
Spring, yes. It
whatever,
was warmer weather.
after she's out of school. And
That's
yeah,
right.
it was midsummer. But one of the other things, before we left, we had some friends that were on ham radio. And they said, oh, you got to get into ham radio. And so this was probably a year before we left. I bought a ham radio, but I didn't have my license. And to get the license, you had to copy Morse code at 13 words a minute. And I studied this, and I listened to it, and I tried it. And oh, God, it was just terrible. And on this trip, I still didn't have my license to be able to get on long distance, high frequency ham radio. And my wife was listening to all this beep, beep, da, 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 da. She said, you must be ready for it. So in the Hudson, I don't know where we were, but anyways, we were anchored out someplace, and she said, you got to be able to do something. So I got on another radio, a ham radio, which was anyways, I was able to talk to some people, and I said, where is there a test going on? And they said, such and such a city. So I said, okay. So we're anchored out. Alice and I take the dinghy in the morning, and we want to rent a car. I can't find a rental agency. Found the police station. And went in the police station. I said, we're trying to find a rental car. And he said, oh, there's rental car service right over here, over there. He says, so-and-so, come on over. Take these people over to the rental car. So we went over in the police car to the rental car agency.
Whoa.
Went to the test. I took the test. Nobody could read what I wrote, but I passed the test about 90% or maybe even more than that. I don't know. Anyways, so now I'm able to talk to the people on the ham radio that are all over the states and whatever, in the Bahamas and so forth. So now I just cut in on a whole other thing. But anyway.
But it gave you communication.
Oh yes.
As you're
And so-
boating.
That was before cell phones.
Oh yes, no cell
Yeah,
phones.
no, that was before cell phones, yeah.
No cell phones, no GPS, no nothing like that. But there were communication. There was good. Loran C was one of the things. I had an up-to-date Loran C. Told me where I was
Well, those are good.
with the boat. And, but anyways, so we got down to Florida, and Alice's mother was down in Deerfield Beach. She was in a condo on the Intercoastal Waterway, and she had a friend that had an open boat well.
Ooh.
Pulled in the boat well. We spent a week with Alice's mother. So then we left there, and my mother was down in Marathon, and in a trailer park on the Atlantic side. And we come in, and we come up through a little canal that went to her trailer park, ran aground, and the tide was just before the tide was going to raise, and so no problem, the boat sat there.
Oh, okay, before it was going to raise, that's good.
My brother was down a couple keys down, and he was there, so we went up and had cocktail hour with my mother and so forth. And I don't know, well,
It's at Christmas time.
yeah, oh yeah, but it was before dinner that we got the boat up into the canal under a palm tree, and just super.
Just awesome.
So anyways, we spent Christmas and New Year's at my mother's, and then we went out of there and left there after New Year's and headed back up the Keys, and so we were anchored one night evening having dinner, and had a nice dinner, and we were going to leave the next morning, and the boat is rocking, and I said, do you want to really rock all night? So no, we didn't do that. I said, Alice, it's a beautiful night, we're going to leave. So we left and headed for the Bahamas. And I wanted...
Open sea.
I wanted to get there by daylight. Well, what the hell is the current? The Gulf Stream,
yep.
And the wind was favorable, and we were going too fast. And we were getting across the Gulf Stream and everything else too fast. But one of the things, the cruise ships coming out of Miami and
Fort
Lauderdale were coming at us, and there was probably a mile between them, but it just looked as if I had to get between them. And anyways, we did, obviously. Anyways.
New adventures on the open Atlantic.
Oh yes, we got over to the Bahamas earlier than we wanted to, but we waited around and went through and spent a couple months there.
Wow, found a slot and stayed there, huh?
Well, just moved all the time.
Oh, you just kept moving around.
Oh yeah,
different
anchored all the time.
towns. Wow.
And so then when we come back back over, we were back up the Intercoastal, and then we went across the Erie Barge Canal.
Erie Barge, yes.
And we took 2 weeks doing that.
That's a nice,
It was
nice.
beautiful, super. So then we got home. So that's the end of the story.
Oh, thank you for the story, say. Roland Willits and Bill
and Alice Becker.
and Alice Becker, Omen Story. Thank you.
Omen Stories. Just one more day. As Bill and Alice Becker continue their journey